Welcome to my 1000 Topic English channel. Today, we'll be learning an English story to enhance our listening and writing skills. Subscribe now and join us as we explore amazing English words, vocabulary, and grammar to help you grow and succeed. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below and let us know what you'd love to see next. A young boy named Arjun lived in a small, sun-drenched village between rolling hills and a sparkling river. He was known for his boundless energy, insatiable curiosity, and tendency to give up when things got tough. Whether it was climbing the tallest tree in the village or learning to play the flute, Arjun would start with enthusiasm, only to abandon his efforts at the first sign of difficulty. One day, as the village prepared for its annual festival, the elders announced a competition, a race to the top of Eagle's Peak, the highest and most treacherous mountain in the region. The winner would be crowned the village champion and receive a golden medallion, a symbol of honor and perseverance. Arjun's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I'll win the race," he declared to his friends. "It'll be easy." But his grandmother, a wise woman with silver hair and kind eyes, placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Arjun," she said, "the path to Eagle's Peak is not easy. It will test your strength, your patience, and your heart. Remember, it's not about how fast you run, but how well you endure." Arjun nodded, but her words barely registered. He was too busy imagining himself standing at the summit, the golden medallion gleaming around his neck. The race begins on the morning of the race. The village square buzzed with excitement. Dozens of competitors lined up at the starting line, their faces set with determination. Arjun stood among them, his chest puffed with confidence. The elder raised a conch shell to his lips and blew a deep, resonant note. The race had begun. Arjun sprinted ahead, his legs carrying him swiftly over the grassy foothills. He laughed as he left the other runners behind, his heart pounding with exhilaration. But as the terrain grew steeper and the air thinner, his pace began to slow. His legs ached, his breath came in ragged gasps, and the summit seemed impossibly far away. By midday, Arjun was exhausted. He stumbled over loose rocks, his hands scraped and bleeding. The other runners began to pass him, their faces grim but determined. Frustration welled up inside him, and he sank to the ground, his head in his hands. "I can't do it," he muttered. "It's too hard." Just then, an old man with a walking stick appeared on the path. His face was weathered, but his eyes sparkled with kindness. "Why do you stop, young one?" he asked. "The mountain is too high," Arjun replied. "I'll never make it to the top." The old man smiled. "The mountain does not care how strong or fast you are. It only asks that you keep moving forward, one step at a time." Arjun frowned, but the man's words stirred something deep within him. He thought of his grandmother's advice and the golden medallion he so desperately wanted. Slowly, he rose to his feet and continued his climb. The long climb, the journey was grueling. Arjun's muscles screamed with every step, and the cold wind bit at his skin. But he pressed on, driven by a newfound determination. He reminded himself of the old man's words, one step at a time. Along the way, he encountered other runners who had given up, their spirits broken by the mountain's challenges. Some sat by the path, their heads bowed in defeat. Others argued with each other, blaming the terrain or the weather for their failure. Arjun wanted to stop and join them, to rest and escape the pain. But he remembered his grandmother's warning, "The path will test your heart." Hours turned into days. Arjun's body grew weaker, but his resolve grew stronger. He learned to pace himself, to find joy in small victories, a cool stream to quench his thirst, a patch of wildflowers blooming defiantly among the rocks. He even helped a fellow runner who had twisted her ankle, sharing his water and encouraging her to keep going. Finally, on the third day, Arjun reached the summit. The view took his breath away, the entire village spread out below, the river winding like a silver ribbon through the hills. But what filled him with the most pride was not the sight, but the knowledge that he had earned it. The true reward. As Arjun stood atop Eagle's Peak, the village elder approached him, the golden medallion in his hands. "You have shown great perseverance," the elder said. "But tell me, what did you learn on your journey?" Arjun thought for a moment. "I learned that the mountain is not my enemy," he said. "It is my teacher. It taught me that success is not about being the fastest or the strongest, but about never giving up, no matter how hard the path." The elder smiled and placed the medallion around Arjun's neck. "You have earned this," he said. "But remember, the greatest reward is not the gold you wear, but the strength you carry within you." Epilogue. Years later, Arjun became a guide, leading others to the summit of Eagle's Peak. He shared the lessons he had learned, encouraging them to persevere through their struggles. And though the golden medallion hung proudly in his home, it was not his most cherished possession. That honor belonged to the memory of his journey, the journey that taught him the importance of perseverance. Moral of the story: perseverance is not about never falling, it's about getting up every time you do. The path to success is often steep and rocky, but with determination and resilience, even the tallest mountain can be conquered.